accessing your folder in a ground survival scenario. That is the topic of the video that you are going to watch today. What we are looking at is an older Elite U video that was with me and Jack talking about if somebody took you to the ground and they were in a dominant control or dominant position, how do you access your utility folder, draw it, but do it in a way that a superior grappler isn't able to stop you from doing that or be able to rip that blade out of your hand. The entire focus is to access this tool, get it into play, cause trauma to the person that is fighting you on the ground, and then from that point, you are to get to your feet, assess the scenario, and hopefully survive the situation that you're in. This is the entire premise behind our ground survival classes as far as getting to your weapon, retaining your weapon. The idea is that you can take somebody that has very little to no grappling skill and teach them how to access their tools consistently and competently, even against superior grapplers, because the entire focus is around concealed weapons, meaning that person does not know that you have a weapon until you expose that fact. From that point, it's very important that you understand how to access, draw it, and protect it. Okay, so you're gonna need a particular type of draw, which is a two-hand draw. So we'll take this Shadow Beard folder from Skallywag. The idea is that, yes, I can open this with one hand, but because my hands are separated, if I were to try to open this here, somebody would be able to control that arm or stop me from being able to do the most amount of trauma that I want. So instead of doing that, what you're gonna do is anytime you draw the blade into your hand, because there's utility folder, I'm gonna then pinch the top of the backside of the blade here, and I'm just gonna open it up with two hands, and my other hand's gonna go right on top. The entire premise behind this, or thought process, is that I am going to use this hand to ward off any type of a grab. If somebody tries to grab the arm that has the knife, this is going to intercept. It is going to allow me to cut that person, then grab them, and then cause damage. So the entire focus is to draw it into your hand, do a two-hand open, and then protect that blade until you can cause some sort of damage to them, which allows you to disengage on the ground. Utilizing this here, the draw is going to be from this position. You're going to take both hands and then place it into or over the top of your knife here. Now, if I'm drawing with my right hand, I'm actually just drawing this directly out as I normally would. But if I were to do that, it exposes the knife in a way so that that person can grab, they can grab my hand. So to shield that, both hands go on top. So when I draw this out, I'm actually hiding where that blade is. I keep my elbows nice and tight to my body. Then I'm going to open this up with two hands, and then from the grounded position, we would cut. If this utility tool or knife was on the other side, the way that you would do that is both hands would once again go down to where the knife is. I would draw it into my right hand. So my left hand is feeding this into my right, and then I would do a two-hand open, and now it's in my right hand so I can cut. So it's trying to provide a very consistent way of opening. The idea is that you are protecting your weapon at all times, two hands over the top of it. It is your lifeline, especially if you don't have a lot of ground skills or a lot of experience grappling on the ground. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Let's get into the video now. So we've been talking about use of edge weapons. Basically what's happening in the next few videos is we are going to be on the ground. I'm going to show you how to take a folder, placing it on either your strong side carry or your weak side carry, and in various positions, how to access that. Remember that even if you are extremely skilled on the ground, you want to disengage and stand up. Make sure you're controlling their hands the whole entire time, and make sure that you understand that by having a knife on you, you are bringing that to the fight. So you need to protect that. If they see the knife, they're gonna try to go for it, and that can turn bad for you. So we're gonna work off of, Jack has taken me directly down to the ground. He is inside control. I'm gonna have the folder in the strong side position, and I'm gonna show you a few different ways to do that. And then I'm gonna take that and place it in the weak side in the same position, and then go from there. The principle that we are looking at is position before transition. So just like in normal ground fighting, if you have the ability to upgrade your position, you want to make sure that you do that before you try to do any type of offensive movement. If you are pinned down and you don't have the ability to, then you can sacrifice position to access this weapon, but understand that that should be a secondary tactic, and you want to make sure that both hands are protecting the knife at all times so that they don't have the ability to stop you or pin your arms. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is go right into side control. Okay, so we're going to do the defense on side control and accessing our folder. Remember, all of this is just basically accessing that knife. So we are working on the principle of position before transition. You're going to see some fundamentals on the ground. I am going to be running a full in-depth training on that and how to properly do that in realistic scenarios in future videos. This is just accessing of the weapon. So I'm in side control. Here, he's taking me directly down to the ground. The first thing that you're looking at is you're controlling far side and keeping your head directly away. I want to make sure that I am consciously aware of where this other arm is. The first thing that I want to do is I want to try to upgrade my position. So as I'm holding onto his arm, I'm leaning up, and then I'm wrapping my leg directly here. And you'll notice that both of my hands have access to my knife, and so I'm going to bring my hands here, and now I'm going to open my knife here, and then start working towards cutting whatever is in that position. Again, this is on my strong side here. He is taking me down to the ground, opening this up, and then accessing my knife. Once that happens, I do a two-hand open, which we talked about before, and then if he made contact, I'm here. Now, once we get to this point, I'm going to face him. The blade will face. Forearm presses on my thigh, and then I use that to create space. Make sure that you are looking around so that you can deal with any other attackers if you have to. In this scenario, what happens is I can't get my legs directly in front, so I can't upgrade my position, so I'm gonna have to access the knife in that inferior position. So as I face him, I'm gonna place both hands on the knife, try to draw that. You need to understand that because you are not using position before transition, they are probably gonna transition in a grappling style. As you are accessing the weapon, understand that if you get the knife out, you're going to try to insert that as soon as possible to cause trauma. But they are going to be upgrading, so you need to make sure that you are protecting yourself from strikes and submissions. So I'm here, I'm turning directly in, both hands are on the knife, it's open, and now from here, I'm just inserting from one or two. I'm gonna rotate in, and then just start continuing to cut. So the last option that I want to talk about is if you don't have the ability to turn towards them and control their arms, they are pressing you away, so basically they're almost behind you. And how are you going to access that weapon? It's very important that you are not taking your hands and only going with one. Otherwise, what's going to happen is they're going to trap that, peel that away, strip the knife out of your hand, and then you're going to have problems. So I'm going to be blocking with one arm, which is going to disguise that as I go for the other side. So we're here. Because he's on this side, I need to make sure that my hands go right over the top of the knife itself, and I want to block. So I'm going to be pressing off to one side, wherever this is. I'm kind of blocking here, and now both hands have the knife in my hands here. From this point, I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to start to face. So one hand is blocking like this, the other hand reaches across, draw that out, and then we start to face and get directly away. So the principle here is both hands are are on top. I'm blocking, I turn it, and then both engage that. Your standing position is going to be the same. You can do your hand switches and then start to work from there.